Hey there, today I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming Aries full moon as we head toward that full moon that's coming on early Thursday morning. Technically, the full moon is at 4:26 a.m. Pacific time. That's 7:26 a.m. Eastern this Thursday, October 17th. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro perspective for October 13th, Sunday, and we are looking at this full moon that will be the full moon following the Libra solar eclipse. And so that Libra solar eclipse began this moon cycle, set the stage for the work that we are doing throughout this moon cycle. And we've got the theme of peace, of balance, of what does it look like to bring about peace, to work together with others, to find common ground. And as well, this moon cycle is focused on relationships. So if you find yourself doing some of this work on discovering balance through your relationships, you may get some insight around this Aries full moon. So the energy of the full moon brings full moon at 24 degrees Aries, opposing the sun at 24 degrees Libra, and that opposition, which the full moon is always an opposition between the sun and the moon, and in this case, it's also forming a grand cross with Pluto and Mars that is heading toward its opposition with Pluto. So 4 points in the Grand Cross, which forms a big square in the sky, and all four planets so Sun, Moon, Pluto, and Mars are all in later degrees of cardinal signs. So cardinal signs have to do with initiating, starting things, putting things in motion. And so with cardinal, there is this sense of controlling things and steering them in a certain direction, of getting things started, right? Of putting things in motion. So with the energy of Libra and this Libra moon cycle that's potent because it's following an eclipse, is bringing in this background theme of how we bring about balance in our lives. So the Libra cardinal sign is asking us to engage in partnership, engage through relationship, through the experience of inner experience with the outer, right? So the self and the other. And the experience of working with another brings a bunch of things, right? It can bring the feeling of support, of help, and I'm not in this alone, right? We're doing this together. It also brings in that outside feedback, that reflection. So as we're thinking about balance, this full moon is in Aries, and it says, what do you need to do? And so Aries is impulsive. It needs it can be spontaneous, right? It's about action. It's how we act. And we need to have this ability to find our courage, but also to know who we are before we take action, because it is impulsive. And so getting clear about who you are, what's important to you, what you want, and seeking that outside perspective through your partnerships, your relationships, your friendships, right? The experience of collaboration. And so getting that feedback, that reflection can help inform you about who you are, what's important to you, how you want to organize and orient yourself. And then the Aries full moon is illuminating something, because full moons illuminate, right? It's the moon being fully lit up and the reflected light from the sun. And so this reflection of something in our lives that helps us see more deeply into who we are, but also how we need to change. So when you set your intentions at the new moon, the full moon reveals something about what is going to help you get there. So just like looking in a mirror or having the feedback of someone you are in relationship or conversation with, you get that feedback and that informs you further. And then from that place of knowing who you are, ideally, you will be taking action from courage, from authenticity, from doing what is true and right and important to you, as opposed to acting unconsciously or in ways that are not well considered, foolish, shall we say. So that's the potential there with the Aries energy. And so getting yourself clear about who you are, where you're heading, why that's important to you, and then you're able to take action that moves things along. And taking action doesn't mean that everything you do brings the result you want. It just means that you are taking action that helps you learn how to get there. And so something is being revealed, full moon, about how to take action, Aries, that will help you get where you're going compared to your intentions that you set on the Libra new moon and solar eclipse. So if you're just joining me now and you haven't set your intentions, you can always do so in any moment. It's just a practice of saying to yourself what you want. This is what I want. This is you don't have to know how you're going to get there. You don't even have to know if it's possible. It's just a way of stating, this is what I want. This is what feels important to me. And so intentions can be literally anything, but it's ideally something that is a positive statement for you about what you want to call in or grow toward or learn more about or step into. Okay, so because this full moon in Aries has or creates a grand cross, we also have this energy of challenge, of difficulty. And remember, as I've shared here before, that what those squares are there to do is to push you into the places that feel hard so that you get creative. So there's a need to discover creative approaches, creative ways forward, to think in ways that will help you transcend the old problems. And because we're in the later degrees of cardinal signs, there's a sense of having been around the block with this Grand Cross. So there's a feeling of, this is something I've been working on for a long time. This is something that, I've put a lot of effort and thought into, and now I'm being pressured to really take it to the next level, to ask myself to grow and to find my strengths, to dig deeper into your resources, your strengths, to find new places of wisdom, of problem solving, and of ability. So the Grand Cross energy pushes us to get creative. It pushes us to look deeper for what are the resources we have? What are the strengths we have that are going to help us move through and address whatever challenges we are facing? And the invitation here is to discover that through action, through that moon being in Aries and the need to find courage to do something about what you care about. So first you have to know what you care about, what's important to you. And this might be a good time to question that, okay, am I including all the perspectives here? Am I thinking about all the things I should be thinking about? Is there anything I might be missing? And then asking yourself, okay, let's get clear about what the problem is, and then take action. Again, you don't have to necessarily know what result that action will bring. That's the point of Aries. It's about just do it. So when you just do it, you will discover something, right? You'll either get a result that feels good or you'll get a result that doesn't feel good, and that will help you learn. Learn what works and what doesn't work, and where to adjust, where to make corrections, where to maybe see things differently or look at things differently that you in ways you couldn't see before, because taking this action pushes you into a new place of understanding or awareness. So we are doing this Libra work to find ways to get along, to create common ground, to work together, to collaborate. And we need to do that through our own individual choices, actions, decisions, and clarity. So finding that clarity is where you will navigate from, and then doing what is true and right for you. So in many ways, the Aries full moon in general is a time of discovering where and embarking upon like, where have I not stepped up? Where have I not brought my voice to the table, right? With the Libra sense of compromise, where have I sort of stood back or made myself small or let someone else take up space? And where do I need to step up and interject my perspective, my views, my experience? And through doing that, you actually create more balance, right? The Libra lesson is about how we create balance through not just compromise, not not just people pleasing, not just being a doormat, but through stepping up to what does real balance look like. It might look like making some waves. It might look like upsetting the apple cart, right? Or doing things in a way that, that the status quo doesn't like. But is the status quo really in balance? That is the question. Is there a greater balance that can be achieved through the decisions that you make, the decisions and actions that you take? And how does that create a new status quo, a new place of balance that is maybe even more functional? And creating that dynamic view of balance, where balance changes, right? What worked for us last year or 10 years ago or 100 years ago may not be what is going to help us solve the problems of today or of this moment. So finding that new place of balance and asking yourself, who am I? Where do I need to step up? Where do I need to take action? Where do I need to be a little more decisive or take a risk or find my courage? And to do this in a way that honors your path, your journey, how you got here, and also what's going to help you move forward from here. So those later degrees of cardinal signs is about initiating something, but it's also about recognizing who you are, what strengths you have already worked to build, and how you can use those with a little bit more of a mature perspective on how to move forward. And just a final thought, that this Aries full moon is in a square to Pluto. So looking at that Pluto energy means there's something that is not easy, right? There's some intensity, there's some depth here, but it's also much more real, much more honest. And so being honest with yourself, or giving honest feedback to someone else, or being willing to receive some honest feedback might feel intense, but is ultimately helping you to step into what you already, to take the work you have already done to the next level. Um, and then one final thought is that with Mars, the Mars Pluto opposition is highlighted during this full moon, and Mars is not, it's still 7 degrees, 6.5, 7 degrees away from the exact opposition to Pluto. So it's moving toward that opposition, but we're starting to feel this energy of the Mars action, the Mars in Cancer needing to act in a way that is defending and protecting something that we care about, thinking about family, thinking about children, thinking about where care is needed and where we need to take a stand for caring. But also here, there is the potential for emotions, moving emotions, Mars in Cancer, and emotional reactivity that could be showing up. So take care of yourself. Take a breath, take some space where you need it, right? To download and process and remember who you are, and ask yourself this deeper question of, who am I? What is important to me? How can I act or make decisions in ways that are authentic and true to where I need to be going and moving and learning, even if it's uncomfortable or a little intense. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. And I'm here every day with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care, telling you about the moon sign and more, and how to take care of yourself with the daily energies. Thanks for being here and subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.